start by introducing yourself.
Got you. So I'm Jonathan Pogue. I'm a senior at East Carolina, graduate of Anson Schools, 2017. I'm a double major in history and political science, double concentration in pre-law. I tend to be a lawyer, so that's pretty much it.
Do you plan on coming back to Anson County after you take your bar exam?
Well, once I pass the bar exam, I aspire to be in DC practicing law, but I most definitely plan to advocate here in Anson as well.
So, and you have a nonprofit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
So the Smith-Polk Foundation. So that's a partner with me and William Smith. So that's been a thing since 2019 here at Anson as well.
So what do you guys do?
So we have 2 annual events. We have our annual back to school drive as well as our annual scholarship fund. So the back to school drive is catered towards K through 12. So it's pretty much anybody in local schools in Anson County so far. And the scholarship foundation is more so, well, it's geared directly towards Anson seniors. In particular, athletes as well. But we want like the seniors here in Anson to like not only have money to go, but have aspirations once they go to come back here as well. So it's more so geared towards seniors in that field as well.
Okay. What was your dream job when you were a kid? Did you always want to be a lawyer?
Nah, I wanted to be an astronaut all the way up until like 11th grade. So
all the way up until 11th grade.
Yeah.
What changed?
I took Miss Mills. I took her chemistry class, and I just realized science wasn't my thing. It wasn't my thing. So that changed when I was in 11th grade.
So and then you decided you want to become a lawyer, or you changed your mind when you got to college?
Once I realized I didn't want to be an astronaut, I started focusing on what I was actually good at. And I like to debate a lot, and I love to read. I like to write, and I love history too. So I mean, it just kind of like fell in line. And my whole life, my dad was like, "You like to argue, you should be a lawyer." And then so that was one of the things I was like, I actually do like to argue, so might as well.
What type of lawyer are you planning on becoming?
Criminal defense, so a criminal defense attorney.
What's something that has really impacted your life?
Growing up in Anson, like just growing up here. It wasn't until I went to college I really realized how much I didn't have growing up, like as far as school resources. I mean, outside of just family, but just like school. Like we did not have a lot of resources in Anson as far as school.
Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Well, I mean, if you just, I mean, it's a Title I county, so then you just look at like the schools themselves, it's not a lot of like resources. It's like outside of classroom exposure, there wasn't a lot of clubs. But if you didn't play sports, there wasn't a lot of clubs. There wasn't a lot of exposure to the world outside of Anson, like given by the school. Like a lot of my friends, they were like going on like out of the country trips with their school, or they were going on like local ventures outside. Like they'll go to like the hospital for this, or go to this and go to that. When I was in high school, I went on most of my trips because of sports. Like everywhere I went was sports related. It's not a lot of academic related opportunities for students. As far as in-classroom exposure, other than just a laptop and a computer, like you don't really get a lot of like in-classroom things as well. And I feel like we're very limited in like the ways that we learn as well. I mean, it's just traditional. Give you this homework packet, do this, bring it in. Like a lot of students I was around, they were exposed to various like learning techniques in general, whether that was like internships in high school. Like I know people that did internships while they were in high school, whether that's like if you want to be a nurse, going to the nursing home and spend like part of your days there, and that counts towards your academic transcript in high school. Well, us in Anson was more so just related, just what you did in the classroom, and then outside of that, there weren't really opportunities for people.
Is that something you want to bring back with the Smith-Polk Foundation?
Most definitely. We have aspirations. We want to put a community center here as well. So like in the summer, outside of athletics, in the summer, kids have something to do. Whether that's be learning, drawing, dancing, like just have something to do outside of just athletics. Will and I, we both played. I played 4 sports in high school. He played 3. I mean, we both were athletes, but it's bigger than just that. And we want our students here to be as well-rounded as possible. So when it comes time for them college transcripts, it's not just football, basketball, track, baseball, wrestling, or whatever. It's other things as well. I did this in high school as well as I did an internship here. I got experience with this. I can draw, or I did dance, or something, other than just the prototypical stuff from Anson County students. So that's our ambition as well.
Do you feel like Anson County is more so behind than other county schools?
It's behind the curve, for most definitely, but I mean, part of it is financial reasons as well. I mean, it's not really a lot of businesses. Well, it's not a lot of resources here to pour back into the school. And the resources we do have, they spend time trying to catch up. So it's hard trying to, be on the ball when you're behind the ball already. Um, that's my answer to that. Yeah.
What's your current goal?
Like for me personally,
Yeah. Outside of Smith-Polk, outside of lawyer, what's something that's a goal of yours?
personally for me, it's just I love to see myself as a trailblazer, but like you got to get things done first. For me personally, it's to live my life in the best way possible. So like what I'm saying matches up to how I'm living. Like I don't really want the things I'm doing to be a disconnect from what people see me doing on an everyday basis. So just trying my best to live a life that directly and completely aligns with these same stuff I'm saying and like the stuff people see me doing. Because a lot of times people doing stuff and it's like, oh, I see him doing that, but that's not what he's doing. Or that's cool that he did that, but I know he wouldn't actually say that. Oh, it's cool that he's promoting this, but is he living that? And like I want my life to be, I want it to be one and the same. I mean, it is now, but there are some areas I could be better in, of course. Like I want people to see me and be like, okay, I see why he's doing that, or it makes sense. So that's pretty much my goal. Yeah.
So you said you wanted to practice law in DC afterwards. What's going to happen to the Smith-Polk Foundation?
It's gonna get bigger. I mean, me and Will, we talk about it all the time. He's an accountant, and I'll be a lawyer. So as far as just like, the logistics, I mean, he be doing the books for stuff, and I'll be getting legal negotiations. I only see it getting bigger in each step of our life. I mean, for financial reasons alone as well, it's a nonprofit. So like, I mean, when I'm in my lawyer career, that's more money I can funnel into the community, and as well as for Will. Like he's in his career already, so that's more money we have to put back into people. So I only see it getting bigger. I don't see it as a hindrance at all. Like I only see an upward trend.
So you plan on still doing the back to school drives?
Yeah. I mean that's set in stone. That's solidified. I mean, the back to school drive is how I started. And the scholarship drive that was like Will's idea. So like I mean those things I feel like they're necessities at this point. Like kids need a book bag and kids need money for school, so it's always gonna be a need for that.
Why Anson County?
I mean that's where we from, and it's like if you can't help where you from, why would you even start trying to help somewhere else? So I know for me in particular, like, I could have did it in Greenville very easily because I'm in Greenville right now for school. But it's like, that'd be a disservice to the people that I'm like, I'm directly related to the people that like look at us and be like, okay, he in college and like, or Will, he's in his career, he's graduated. That'll be a disservice to them, like to those individuals. Like, if we can't help the people that helped us, like, why are we doing it?
So why do you feel that you have to help Anson County? I mean, you're obviously very intelligent.
Yeah.
You're going to school for law. You plan on practicing law. Why come back here and help here? And you don't owe anybody anything here.
Yeah, who else will? I mean, it's that mentality. If we don't, who else will? I mean, of course, it's a cliche. It's like, if I don't do it, who else? But look at the demographics of Anson. Look at what happens. And I feel like I literally have the mentality, if I'm not doing it, who else will do it? Not saying that nobody else is capable, but it's like, I'm not willing to just wait around and be like, okay, somebody else will do it, somebody else will do this. Nah, like, if I have the resource and I have the capability, why not? So to me, it's more of a question of why not instead of why. Why aren't people doing it? Why isn't it more people like myself and Will that are willing to just go to the forefront and say, this is what it's supposed to be? Not only this is what it's supposed to be, this is what it should be. Okay, let's make it where it needs to be. Let's put it where it needs to be. So to me, I would ask, why not me? Why not us?
When you think of home, what do you think of?
I'm gonna say like struggles a lot. I mean love too. When I think of home in general, I think of change. Like anytime I think of just being back here, I think of what needs to be instead of like what it was. Like I'm not really a fan of what it was, and I'm not really a fan of what it is. Like I think there needs to be a lot of change in a lot of areas, educationally, financially, socially, racially. I think there needs to be a lot of change. So I mean, that's the overarching word that comes to my mind is just change, honestly.
If you had intro music, what would your intro music be?
Intro music. I'm a J. Cole fan, so like J. Cole, anything by J. Cole, but I don't know, my favorite song by I would say probably A Dollar in a Dream 2, Part 2 by J. Cole. That's probably my favorite one. I feel like it's a dollar in a dream.
Last question.
That's fine. What's the question?
To everybody watching this, mainly if it's just one kid out there that's in high school right now, what piece of advice would you give to this one kid?
Don't let your circumstances be your outcome. I'm just looking in the camera. Yeah, don't let your circumstances be your outcome. I mean, growing up, I lived off government assistance, whether that be food stamps or just like anything. And now I'm about to graduate from a 4-year university. So, I mean, don't let your circumstances be limiters to like what your future can be. The world is bigger than Anson County. Like, it's a lot bigger than Wadesboro, Lawsville, Morven, Peachland, Poland, Burnsville, McFarland. Like, it's a whole lot bigger than just the confines of this county lines. Take school serious. I know in Anson, especially right now, it may not be the cool thing to do, but I mean, it's an opportunity. It gives you opportunity that you can't see or can't utilize or anything else. I mean, it's cool to be cool. I mean, trust me, I like looking cool, I like being all of that. But the main thing is don't sacrifice your morals to be the cool kid. Don't sacrifice what you know to be right to do what's wrong just to be cool. And that's cliche too. I'm pretty sure you guys know that y'all smart. But my best advice to you is just stay true to you. I mean, you mean more to you than anybody else. You know yourself better than anybody else. So don't get caught up doing things that doesn't benefit you, trying to suit somebody else that's outside of you. So, I mean, just be the best you that you could be. Yeah, that's pretty much it.